Hey you guys, it's Britt. Today we're here to talk about Kaya Simon's life. There is so much happening with her. So this video is going to be discussing essay involving minors and the exploitation of minors. So if that is upsetting, I totally understand. Please click off this video and find something that is better suited for where you are. Completely understand. But if you are in a place where you would like to hear my thoughts, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so here we are. It's another day and it's another me just being completely disappointed and let down by another YouTube creator. Let's go through the history of how I know Kaya, and then we will get into what is currently going on with her right now. So I found Kaya about 2 years ago because I used to cover self-taught beauty. I'm sure some of you guys remember the self-taught beauty saga. And Kaya went ahead and made a commentary video about self-taught beauty as well. And from that point in time, once in a while I would check in on her channel if I saw she was live late at night, because she does a lot of live streams. I would pop in and say hi, hang out for a couple of minutes and then see my way out, because honestly, she covers foodie beauty stuff and I'm just not, I don't have the attention span to consume that much when it comes to foodie beauty. Like, I'll watch some videos, but I'm not somebody who's interested in listening to that constantly. But I would always pop in and say hi, and I felt like, some of her content was good, some of it I didn't really care for. You guys know I'm not into the parody thing, and a lot of her content was focused on foodie beauty. Like, when you think of foodie beauty reaction channels, I'm sure that many of you know of Kaya simply because she did so much content about foodie beauty. Well, yesterday, one of my longtime Instagram followers sent me a DM and said, hey, can you believe all this stuff going on with Kaya? Something along those lines. Or did you hear about all this stuff going on with Kaya? I don't remember. But I was confused because I had no clue. I went ahead and started looking into what's going on with Kaya. And to say that I was shocked is a huge understatement. I constantly, sometimes people call me kind of cynical because not a whole lot of YouTube or internet stuff really surprises me when these people are exposed to be greedy or not care about subscribers or just be shady individuals. It usually doesn't surprise me too much. But the level of disgust that is surrounding this Kaya situation, the past 12 plus hours that I've been spending consuming this content has my jaw on the floor in a way that I can't remember being this surprised about something on the internet since I've had my own channel. So what I found over the past 12 hours is that Kaya's long-term boyfriend of 12 years has been convicted of some of the worst crimes. I will go over his exact charges. The biggest charge that everybody is talking about and obviously upset with for obvious reasons is the 2005 conviction that he had for pandering a child. And there was also kidnapping on his documents that were released as well. Some of the other charges are kidnapping in the first degree. These were all September of 2005. Pandering child, pandering, transporting a prostitute, 2 of those charges. Living from earnings of a prostitute, 2 of those as well. Child endangerment and living with a prostitute. So all of these charges are, like I said, from 2005, and her boyfriend served 5 years in prison for this. He was sentenced to 10. And this is Kaya's boyfriend. And essentially, what happened is this information was leaked, and Kaya jumped on a live stream to, in my opinion, she was trying to see how her community was feeling about this. In the live stream that she did, she really wanted to tell people that she had been kind of sprinkling out this hint as to news that she wanted to share with her followers. Um, I can understand maybe putting out hints that you're going to announce something to your followers and it not be that big of a deal. I don't think that sprinkling out hints that your long-term boyfriend of 12 years is on the register is something that is some kind of game. It's not a game of Clue. This isn't fun. This isn't something that you just sprinkle out little hints as if you are playing a board game. So I didn't like that. She also said that she had always planned on telling people. Well, my opinion on that is she has been on YouTube making this type of content, talking about Foodie Beauty for 4 or 5 years. And I think in that period of time, there were plenty of opportunities early on to tell people who you were. Because I've seen so many people say, if this would have been one of the first videos that she put on her YouTube channel when she wanted to get in the commentary, at least people could look back and say, at least it was her, second or third video uploaded. She talked about all of this. So we knew exactly who she was, and she still decided to build up her channel to over 6,000 followers, which is currently bleeding subscribers. She has lost approximately 1,000 subscribers in the last 24 hours, and I assume that she's going to continue to lose many, many people. So my frame of mind initially was when I heard Kaya's video and I heard kind of the language that she was using to really lean on her most loyal followers to get her through this. And she kept saying, it's not my story to tell, even though, okay, why are you even making the video then? Like, it's pretty pointless. If it's not your story to tell, then why are you here? Why are you here? But I continued to allow her to speak. And she kept saying that she was going to bring her partner on Sunday so that they could tell their quote side of the story. And I said, all right, well, I'm going to make a video about this, but I'm going to wait till Sunday because I've talked about before how I am a curious person, and having a commentary channel, if there are multiple sides, then I'll listen to multiple sides, even if I feel like my mind is already made up. In all fairness, I will listen to all sides if they are available.
Welcome everybody here. Welcome everybody chilling in the background. This is going to be about what is going on with me, what is going on with my family. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you are here for the foodie stuff, I'm going to talk about what's been going on with me. I've never wanted to blindside any of you. Let's just cut right to the chase, okay? I have built a very strong bond with you guys. And I know some of you guys are going to understand this. And I know some people aren't going to understand this. I've always told you guys that I used to lead a different lifestyle. My family used to lead a different lifestyle as well as me.
It's okay.
And I want to put this out here, okay? If you no longer, I'm going to put this up here at top, and I will take care of it tonight. If you have to back from supporting me, I completely understand. If you want to be unmodded, I do completely understand. I will not look at you any different. I do not want any of the things that are going on with me to affect any of you guys. If you want unmodded, I have no hard feelings. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I respect that. Let's cut right to the chase. So I'm sure some of you guys have. A long time ago, I always said that there's a lot going on in my life. When the time is right, And I thought it would be on my time, but unfortunately it's not on my time. I'm going to get to it, Ponderous. I do not want anybody to feel that they're going, I don't want any of you guys to get caught in the crossfire that came my way. If you can tell, I've been very aggravated lately. I've been very on edge. I've been very snippy. Well, this is not my story to tell you. I got off the live last night. It was brought to my attention. I want to tell you that this is not my story to tell you. I had to figure out how to address this. There is a video that the person that I'm with is a offender. It is not what it is. It is a story from the past. It was not of a child. I really, when I say that I really have suffered from childhood SA, the last thing you guys know how hard I ride for that and how hard I stand for that would be if I thought this person was a to those around me. He's very well. No, I'm not. I've been with this person for 12 years. That's what I told him, Yarn. But I think that he knows that I've created a bond with you guys, and he doesn't want, they're after me. They want me. I'm dragging it out, not at all, because this is very hard for, there's a whole video. I've been doxxed. It's out there. It's all over Twitter. No, it's a channel that covered me and Callie before. If anybody wants to leave, they're more than welcome to leave. There was no video. I'm going to let him tell the story Sunday. It wasn't a video. I know you guys need the story, and I'm going to give you, he's going to give it to you. It's not my story to tell. If that's the way you look at it, pizza, my pizza, that's fine.
Then there was another video that came out, and Kaya and her boyfriend decided to go on panel with a woman named Sharon. Sharon and Kaya were close friends. They, this isn't something where it's like, oh, well, we watch each other's content sometimes. They were actually friends. And this poor woman, Sharon, was so beside herself and so triggered about this news coming out about Kaya and the way that Kaya had hidden it from her entire community the entire time that she's been making content on YouTube. And then she came out because somebody put it out. She did not decide to just on this random day go ahead and be transparent. She addressed it because it was put out. To listen to Sharon's video was so upsetting. I felt for her, and I felt her emotion through the conversation that she was having with Kaya. Kaya's biggest mistake was asking Sharon to drop the link so that Kaya could come up on panel with Sharon. And in this video is when everything went left, and I felt so beyond disgusted and appalled and blindsided by who Kaya showed who she really is. Now we're going to listen to a part of this stream, because even though I'm not going to react to Kaya's original stream, number one, it's been deleted. And number two, there wasn't a whole lot in that stream that I felt was noteworthy. It was a lot of excusing. It was a lot of being an apologist. It was a lot of this is my man, and it's not my story to tell, but this is my man, and I'm standing beside him. When she said that she was going to do a video with him on Sunday, I initially thought, well, maybe he works, maybe he's on the road and that's why the video isn't happening until Sunday. Maybe he's not physically with Kaya. But then to see him sitting right next to her and go on Sharon's panel was very, very interesting to me, because if he's there with you and you want people to know his side of the story so badly, then why do we need to wait till Sunday when he's sitting right next to you? People who excuse crimes against children are the lowest, darkest souls of society. Because I understand, okay? Before we get into the reaction part of this, I want to say I understand that we all have missteps, and some of us have many missteps, and some of us have really colorful histories. But in my opinion, if you are excusing crimes against children, that's a conversation that I cannot have with you, because I'm never going to agree with being an apologist when the most innocent members of society were exploited, abused, or taken advantage of by the darkest souls in society. I don't think that there's any apologizing for that. And, Kai has already said, oh, there's no victims. There are no victims. Kaya has said herself that she is a survivor of childhood SA. How would she feel if somebody told her that she is not a victim? You have no right to tell somebody there are no victims because you don't know these people. You don't know what being manipulated as a teenager and being put out as literally as a piece of meat as a teenager has done to some of these people. Now, I'm going to link Sharon's entire video down below, but we're going to go to about 1 hour and 48 minutes, and that is when Kaya enters the chat.
A different lifestyle than some, and I was out there in the streets too. So there's no him taking advantage of me, or I lived in Atlanta in the shadiest part of town on Fulton Industrial.
But
No, I'm just saying though, I want to make this very.
Okay.
I'm a grown ass woman, and it's not.
Kaya,
I'm with him because I love him. I'm with him because hold on. I'm with him because yes, it's a situation, and we are going to explain.
One thing I've noticed that Kaya does a lot is she mentions how she was out in the streets as well. And to my knowledge, she does not have the same set of crimes on her back as he has on his. So I think that what she's trying to say is, well, I was imperfect and I was living a dangerous life as well. Like, I get it, addiction, not making good choices. But I don't think that those even hold a candle to pimping out children. Those two are not the same things at all. And I don't think that they should be compared.
But there's no him taking advantage of me. Yes,
I don't want to mute you. I've just learned how to mute you, and I don't want to do that. So
she keeps saying that she wants to explain the situation, but in this video, the amount of discounting and denying that she does, in order to make it seem like her boyfriend is this knight in shining armor who came in and rescued her. Let's be very clear. There are terrible people in this world, and that doesn't mean that they are terrible to their own family. Some of the biggest monsters that have ever walked this planet were really great to their spouse or their children. But what does that mean? Throw everyone else in the garbage? Oh, well, he was a good husband, so it doesn't matter that he harmed, half the people in the town that we live in. Two things can be true at one time.
We're going to have a good time. Well, we're not going to have a good time because I'm in tears, you're in tears. This is not a good time. This is not a good time at all for anyone here. But can you appreciate that actually this is not you kind of learned to live with being with a sex person, a predator.
That's not what I'm saying here.
But it's a shock for the rest of us.
He's fucked up in the past, but that's what I'm saying.
Excuse me, lady.
Proved to me in the last 12 years that there's more to this story. We are going to explain it, Sunday.
It's not
and
a story,
there's
though,
no
is
him
it?
taking
No.
advantage of me.
Kaya.
I wonder what this situation would be looking like if Kaya had children. Because Kaya, to my knowledge, does not have any children in her home. Would she still be okay with this man being in her home if she had young children?
Talk for a minute. I'm not some weak ass out here that he's taking it. No, hold up. I'm not some weak ass that he's taking advantage of. That's not the case. We've watched each other grow through good, bad.
Yeah, brilliant.
He's paid his part. I paid my part.
Okay,
I'm
so
not with him for money.
but he's not on the internet, is he? He's
No,
not
he's
on the
not.
internet.
And that's
You are.
why I had to think how I was going to move to address this. That
No,
either
excuse me.
I think when you make your entire channel accountability culture and commentary, especially when you're doing commentary on some very minuscule and silly things at times, that's all good and well up until the point in time when you are exposed for having major skeletons in your closet. And like I said, I get it. Nobody, I don't think anyone was surprised by Kaya saying that she has things in her past that were difficult and tragic for her. The issue comes in when you are getting on somebody like Foodie Beauty for being an SO apologist, but you are literally, you have dedicated 12 years of your life to being with an SO, somebody who is on the register, and then you want to come on your channel and say that there are no victims. How dare you? To say that people are blindsided by Kaya is a massive understatement. Her amount of just discounting, it's like, oh, well, he's okay with me, so that's all that matters in this. Oh, well, he has shown me cars and all this kind of stuff. Is that money that he made by exploiting other people? Are you living off of money that was made by children and young teenagers being exploited?
I'm going to have my say. I don't want to mute you, so we're going to be. Yeah, I'm smoking too. I was trying to give up. You've got me back on it. I'm on 3 cigarettes already. I
well,
got it
I
down to 2.
apologize,
Look,
Sharon.
Kaya,
I
right?
don't mean
No,
to,
Kaya,
and
I
I
want you. No,
apologize
no,
to the
I
people
want you.
that
You.
I
I
got a
want
little
you to
hasty
stop
with.
speaking and listen a little bit. If I don't want to mute you, but I can. But we're not done.
Kaya is on a how am I going to save my channel rampage. I don't think that this has a lot to do with, well, I feel really bad. I feel remorse. I'm not happy with the person that I portrayed myself to be. This has everything to do with how is she going to save her channel? Kaya, to me, when I found her, here's my impression of her after I had watched some of her content. Again, I never watched all of it. In fact, I don't even consider myself a regular viewer of hers. But here's who she was to me. Kaya was somebody who I thought was single. I thought she helped take care of her grandmother. She was somebody who I think still is like super crazy about her dogs. I felt like she was trying to give her dogs the best quality of life. I felt like she was trying to give her grandmother the best quality of life. And I felt like she was just an opinionated person with an imperfect past. And she built a really, really tight community. I remember when she bought her new computer. I remember when she used to go in her backyard and be in the pool on the floaty thing and live stream. And she was just personable. So, for me, I'm not only disgusted at the current things that are unfolding and the way that this interview happened, but I'm also I feel like she portrayed herself to be somebody that she wasn't this entire time. And she's smoking in her house with her dogs. Kaya, whoever thought that we would be here? My God.
Can you, without interrupting me, and then I'll say my little statement here. Can you imagine? We knew you were tetchy. I was thinking it was PTSD. I thought it was PTSD.
I
I
do
get
have
hype. No,
PTSD,
no,
but
don't
none of my
interrupt me.
issues have to deal with them.
Excuse me. Excuse
Going
me.
up
I
there,
asked you.
none
Oh, fuck.
of my issues.
I asked. Right, I'm going to mute you. I asked you not to interrupt me, and I won't interrupt you. So can we do that? Is that an agreement here? Right. Okay. Great. I was thinking you're a little bit. You're a little bit tetchy. And I'm like, I get that. I'm quite hypersensitive to noise and things like that. And I'm thinking, well, okay, we had the substance there, and you're like worried about what might be outside your house. I didn't know it. I didn't know it. But do you understand that we've all been absolutely on your side, loving you, because as I said, Foodie Beauty, if you chopped her in half, she'd be black. I never thought you were that. And now you've dumped this on us. And this is fucking awful. Awful for everyone who has ever given a shit about you. And now I'm there this morning. I watched this live. I wasn't in on the live because
It's not just the fact that this came out. It's Kaya's response to everything coming out. It's her jumping on a live to address it only because she was doxxed and this information was leaked. It's the saying that there's no victims. It's the saying that she's not being manipulated and like tripling down on the fact that she is okay sleeping next to an SO every single night. And she wants to prop him up and say that, oh, he would give the shirt off his back. I don't want anything from the guy. I don't want people like him being able to trick their way through society. I don't want people like him remotely close to me. This is why they have a registry in the first place, so that we know that this monster resides at this house. And to have it just kind of thrown away and diminished as if it was one mistake that was made 50 years ago, and this is somebody who has been reformed and now is a good person. Like, he has no remorse. Zero.
actually slept last night. I was having a good day. I was having a good day, fucking ripping Missy Mo to get the money out of her for tea and sass, the miserable bitch. And then I'm like, oh, Kaya's been live. I missed it. And I'm like, holy shit, my stomach turned and there's toilet. And that's just me. Can you imagine what happened to other people? And you've known this all along. And that feels like a horrible betrayal.
And I do understand that. And like I said, that's I feel horrible. And that's never my intentions. Everybody is using the word love,
I'm not.
but they don't see how the internet love, like this.
Kaya, I'm not using the word love
This
at
is
all.
no, but
I'm
I'm saying
using the word
people like this
shit,
is my
clips, and
real life,
bullshit.
and this is somebody that nobody's manipulated me. He was up for it straight up. He knows my family. I know his.
I don't know if you went through SA as a child, like, why would you be okay with being somebody who is an SO as an adult? To me, those two just don't coexist. Tell me how you guys feel about that down below. But literally, like, to feel that pain and then to literally say with a straight face that there were no victims. And there's some much worse stuff that is said, and we'll get there, but I'm just in like utter disgust and disbelief at the way that this is being handled. And I feel like the only reason that it's even being addressed is because Kaya is scared that she's going to lose every single subscriber that she has, which she might lose most of them. To have the audacity to sit there and pick, and just get on Foodie Beauty for everything, and like, you've got this kind of skeleton sitting in your damn closet. It is the hypocrisy for me.
Hold up. I listen, and I listen. Wait a minute.
Fair dues. I'm zipping it.
There was no manipulation tactics. I'm a grown man. I've dealt with a lot of people in my time. A lot.
Me too.
Good, bad. Up, down, gangsters all around. Lived in the craziest part of Atlanta. Did my thing. Like, there was never no manipulation tactics. There's no, like, I've had my ups, he's had his down, we support each other. So for the people saying that, oh, he's manipulated me or I'm with him because he pays my bill, we pay half of every, like,
I don't care about
because
that.
I know the person that he is. He's been upfront with me. There was never a mystery. It's an open book. And that's what Sunday is going to be, is an open book.
Don't care. Right, okay, I've let you have your say. I think we're being quite respectful here. I think we are. I'm trying my best. I used to be a decoy, my head up. So this is going to press my button. I've started it off from the very beginning saying I'm going to be hypersensitive to this. And I am. But why did you drip feed this? Why did you choose to? Why didn't you tell us this when you started your channel, man? I mean,
because
honestly,
how okay? When is there ever a right time for this? I mean, I'm not making excuses. I'm not. How do you?
Yeah, no,
let me tell you about my dude here. I've been with him for 12 years, and there's some people are going to understand this, and some people aren't.
Is he there with you?
Absolutely. He said.
I don't think that it would have been a lot different, but I think that it's the hypocrisy for a lot of people. It's the, you know, I'm going to tell you guys what's morally right and what's morally wrong, and all of the things that everyone else is doing wrong on their channels, when she's sitting here with a secret like this that she knew about. No, there's not ever a right time, but at least people would look back and say she addressed it earlier on and she was transparent and she told us exactly what happened. And if people still chose to subscribe and send super chats and all of that kind of stuff, then that's their own choice. But I do almost wonder too, did she keep her partner off of her channel in the dark as a way to, you know, because I tell you guys like how I felt about it. I felt like she was a single person trying to help her grandma and make sure her dogs had a good life and take care of herself. Was that done by design as a way to assure super chats and, you know, things along those lines? I'm not saying that it's true. It is just a thought that I've had over the last day or so.
Absolutely. He's sitting right here beside me.
So what's his opinion on
Here,
this?
here we go.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go. Look, I'm finding this very difficult. I don't know what your name is. We've got documents being
Oh,
doctored
I'm
all
pretty
over
sure.
the place.
I'm pretty sure everyone knows my name by now.
And I'm not going to say that. That's up to you if you want to. But honestly, sir, what the is that all about?
Okay, first of all, I'm gonna address the fact that all you guys. I mean, she has been since all this come about. She has been going through.
Oh, I can imagine, and it's your fault.
Yeah, it's my fault.
It is. It is, sir. It is.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not. I'm not gonna run from the blame from what I've done. I know what I've done.
How old was
But
that person then?
I,
Like, can you tell us that?
I also know that that the internet and I know how that all that can
Yeah,
be.
but I'm a decent soul here on the internet.
And here's the thing, like, everyone feel bad for Kaya. Oh, everybody feels so bad. Like, she's going through it and she's sad and she's crying. How do you think that victims feel? How do you think that the victims of the guy that you're sleeping next to every single night, how do you think that they feel? What kind of trauma they have never been able to unpack? Lifelong scars at the hands of the person that you are painting as a knight in shining armor. How about that?
Person here on the internet. I've been in tears over this. So is your beautiful lady there sitting next to you. How old was this person? And Kaya's going to say they weren't racing, but how old were they?
There was it was a few of them, but 17, 18.
So the age of consent is 17. So how does that work?
So, more than one victim. In Kaya's original live stream, she said that it was one person. He's now admitting that there were multiple, so two or more at least. And that just like rolled off his tongue. Like, this is not somebody who is even remotely understanding like why people are so disgusted with people that prey on children.
That was Nevada.
Yeah, it's the state of Nevada in the U.S.
Jesus Christ! And how old were you?
I was.
You were 30, weren't you?
I can't remember. I was. Yeah.
Around that time. Around that time. Honestly,
No, I was younger than 30. I do believe.
Well, when it started, maybe 28, 30, whatever. But you do look. The internet has care for Kaya.
And this is the thing, I realize that there are certain situations where it's like a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old are boyfriend and girlfriend, or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the deal is. And literally one of them is 2, 4, 8, 9 months older than the person that they're dating. I understand that those situations happen, and that is not what we're talking about here. It's not even in the realm, because initially Kaya kind of tried to, it was almost like she was trying to word it like, oh, well, you know, ID should have been checked, like that whole thing, very manipulative. But that's not what happened here at all. This is somebody who was nearing 30, knowing full and well that he was manipulating children to make money by exploiting them.
Floods of tears, sitting right next to you. This blows my fucking mind.
Can you
This blows my mind.
clarify something for me?
Well, if you want my name and address, I'll email it. If you want to go around, that's fucking fine. It's been done
No.
by bigger and better people.
Can you answer a question for me?
Of course I can.
Okay. Are you married?
No, I'm divorced.
Okay.
Fucking pay good money for that. Good times.
Okay. Well, the question I want to ask you is, how do you tell 5,000 people that you don't really know about somebody that's here with you 24/7, that holds you when you cry, someone that loves you, kiss you daily? How can you tell the internet about anything that goes on, or talk to people about?
Yeah, no, it's really difficult. I would imagine
Right.
if I was a sex offender, which I never would have been, and a pimp and shit like that. No, I have no idea how you'd explain that shit away. No, that would be really fucking tricky. But what I wouldn't be doing is showing my ass all over the internet, calling out other people who have got dubious connections. This is the problem the internet is.
I would be single for the rest of my life before I would ever dedicate myself to an SO. There is literally nothing. Like I would literally rather, eat air for dinner than go with a SO, like a registered SO. Like that is just
Gonna have. That's it. I mean, have you stopped being a pimp? Have you stopped having relations with
Sharon,
teenagers?
we've been together 12 years. There was no relation. Go ahead. I'll let
This
you.
is so difficult for me. Right, I'm gonna make it all about me here. My chat is going fucking mental. I work with well, I don't work with. I donate my time, my effort, my money into the ladies' shelter, and I see the fucking shit show that falls out of this. I mean, what the fuck were you even thinking? I'm not going to say your name. It's all over the internet. But honestly, sir, what the fuck were you thinking?
No.
Some people choose that life.
What was I thinking about? What?
What was you thinking about the young girls that you were earning cash off of and manipulating? And how long did you go to prison for?
5 years.
5 years. Was that a good time? It wasn't.
Well, I'm not. No, there's never a good time when you incarcerated, or I mean, I don't know. That was a rhetorical question, but no, it wasn't a good time.
So you had a deviant towards underage people. Are you in a program for this or anything?
No, I never had whatever you said towards underage people.
Deviancy.
Yeah.
So was it all about the money? Is that what it was?
Of course, it was about the money. I lived the lifestyle. That's what it was all about. You think I just?
That's not a lifestyle, man. That's a deviancy.
Yes, it is.
It's not. It may not be a lifestyle to you, but I lived it for over 15 years. So you tell me that's not a lifestyle.
Treating children as if they are objects and sending them out into situations where they are sending these young girls out into situations where they are manhandled and abused and manipulated and treated as if they are pieces of garbage so that you can make money off of them is the most disgusting thing that I can think of. And to call it a lifestyle is extremely alarming. And to know that you did that and then to say that there were no victims.
Lifestyle.
Sharon, see, some people like.
Look, don't you come in here making out I've been having a privileged life. I haven't come from a privileged life.
We're not saying that. We're not saying that. We're saying
she understand it. Just let me talk.
Some people have. My lifestyle was a lot like his before we even met. So some people choose to be a part of the.
So you was a pimp as well?
No, I wasn't a pimp, but
well, there you go then. Not the same.
I hung around with pimps. I was in the same lifestyle, the same circle. Not his.
I can get my head around that shit because a lot of people.
That's why straight out the gate. Look, my life used to be different. Am I proud of it? No, but am I going to sit here and bullshit?
No, we're not talking about children being able to choose a lifestyle. That's what Kaya and her way of thinking about this is so warped, because if an adult is choosing to go out and drink and party or do whatever they want to do, that is their choice, okay? That is their choice because they are a legal consenting adult. But when it comes to children, you cannot sit there and tell me that a child is involved in a, quote, lifestyle, because children cannot consent. They don't understand what's going on. And do you think that if these kids come from a broken home where they were, mistreated at home and there was all kinds of things going on, and then somebody comes in and takes them, and now this person is exploiting them. I mean, you think there's a choice in any of that? Is there a choice for a child to make? No, there is not, because children cannot consent, point blank, period. And that's what her man was doing. They were children. So don't try to tell me that anyone chose anything when we're talking about a child trying to make a decision that an adult might make. Those two don't comprehend for me.
Around that shit ain't out there, and some people choose that life. That's the life they choose to live. That's the life they might have been thrown into, unfortunately. And I'm not
cannot, Kaya, for the love of God, don't sit there and try to make it sound like children are able to consent to being involved in anything. I talk about this constantly, and it's crazy because, you know, Kaya, I don't know if she'll watch this video or not, but Kaya, you knew, like, I sit here and I talk about family vloggers all the time. I talk about kids being used on social media. I talk about kids not being able to consent to having a digital footprint by the time they're 3 years old. I talk about this. It's very, very important to me. It's very painful to see what some of these kids have gone through in a public eye. Most people do not argue with one another that children cannot consent. That is one thing that a lot of us are on the same page with. So are you trying to say that, I don't know, the girls that were associating with your man here, what, because they might have been 14 or 15, they're able to consent? No! That is not possible. It is 199% impossible that a teenager, a child, is able to consent to partaking in any of these activities.
Yeah, Kaya, we have so much care for you, and you built a community that now feels like it was full of bullshit. And I'm blaming you, sir. I'm blaming you. I'm blaming you.
That's fine. I'm equipped enough to take the blame.
Yeah, so am I. I'm the tiniest person you will ever meet, but fuck me. I can hold my.
The lack of remorse that both of them are displaying in this video tells me everything that I need to know, and that's why I'm not waiting for Sunday. My mind is made up. I have seen exactly what's going on here, and frankly, it makes me want to vomit.
My own. I can hold my own more than most. So you decided. What happens? Are we going to do in this thing on Sunday? Are we going to do I had a terrible childhood? This I had to be a pimp and young girls. Is that what we're going to get? Because it sounds like it.
Can you repeat that?
On the Sunday thing, I feel from you, what we're going to get is I had a terrible life. I had a bad background. I was running with the wrong folks. My career options were being a pimp and exploiting underage people.
Yeah, just because, you know, there are so many people that have a really rough upbringing and they don't have parents or family that they can count on, and they might come from a background full of trauma and neglect and all of the most awful things that anybody can go through. But frankly, I'm tired of that being used as an excuse as to why people grow up to be shitty adults.
Is that what we're going to get?
He never said that. I said that's.
No, I've said that. No, I've said that.
No, you're gonna get just what you ask. If you ask me a question, that's what I'm gonna give you the answer to. I don't have to. I'm 45 years old.
Yeah, I've got 2 years on you. I've got 2 years on you, mate.
Okay, I understand. Listen, if I'm 45 years old, there's nothing, no one on the other side of this camera, on the comments, there's nothing, no one, I gives a shit about nothing, no one on this.
Wow.
This lady right here, I don't care about what they say. I really don't care about the whole rumor.
He doesn't care. So that confirms, this is who I am, this is what I've done, and I don't care. He said it himself. They aren't rumors, these are court documents, and he was convicted.
It's not a rumor, though, is it? What do you mean? You don't care about the rumor? It's not a rumor. It's something that happened, and now Kaya is getting the backlash of your filthy behavior in the past.
And he understands that. That's why he's here, because.
Okay. Kaya, we're talking, like, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm sorry. And that's why I'm a little animated, because obviously I spent a very short time being a decoy for people who prey on children, and it's a fucking thing with me. It's a fucking thing with me. I'm not up for this. I'm not up for this. And Kaya, we need to hear from this man. You shouldn't have piecemealed this. We've got it all here. Look, Guy. Look, what have you got to say? What have you
About,
got to say
about
about all of it? About all of it? It's like fucking scorched earth at this time.
well, I'm not. I don't have nothing to say. I done done. I mean, I done done what I did, and dealt with the consequence behind it. Still dealing with the consequence behind it. So I mean, what do you want me to say? You want me to cry and apologize? I'm not.
No, absolutely not. No, if you have no tears for your victims, then don't fucking give me crocodiles.
No, I
Don't do that.
I don't have tears for the victim because the victim is not as much as a victim as you assume that she is. She's not some innocent girl that was just swindled by charm or no, that's not the case.
But it was 5 years in. It was 5 years in prison, my man. It was 5 years in prison, so there was a little bit more than that.
Lady, listen. First of all, 5 years in prison is not a lot of time.
Did you serve 5 years, or was that the conviction?
No, I served 5 years.
Okay,
So for somebody to say with their whole chest and say it very seriously that 5 years was not a lot of time, 5 years, like I wouldn't want to serve 5 years in prison. Not in a million years. There is no way that I would not scoff at that. I would not be upset about that. For somebody to say that they did 5 years and then acknowledge that's not a whole lot of time and go on to carry on this conversation the way that he has tells me that this is not somebody that is reformed. And if you're going to try to say, oh, well, that was years ago, Kaya saying, you know, that was in the past, this is now, this is a good guy, give me the shirt off your back, all that kind of stuff. His own words and his own language during this entire video tells me that he doesn't really care. This is not somebody who is remorseful.
it was probably about 10 then, and you got out with good behaviour.
Say what?
So you served 5. So the conviction was what, 7, 10 years?
No, my conviction was 10 years.
But yeah, there you go. So you got out on good behaviour. So it was pretty bad then. It was pretty.
This is not somebody who just made a lapse in judgment.
Bad. They had a lot on you. Did you plead guilty or did you go to trial?
No, I pled guilty.
Oh, okay, so if you hadn't pled guilty, it was that bad, it would have been a shit ton worse. You'd been looking at 15 to 20.
No. They maxed me out on what they could give me.
Okay. So when you look back, do you have any care for the victim? Because there were multiple, weren't there? I mean, you got caught on one, but this was the lifestyle you were leading, and it was bad. You're saying it was bad.
Actually, it was more.
Do you have any care for those in your sphere that you're earning money off of? Do you have any care for them? Because you have no care for the victim. You've just told us that they weren't. But what about the other ones on the periphery?
I dealt with no one. Any lady that I dealt with, it wasn't no
Child.
Any person I dealt with.
Child.
You don't even know the gist of the whole situation. So
well, like I would imagine here. And I'm trying to hold my words because my mouth is like a sewer. People in the States, I used to work in Chicago. I was the English Rose, could get married every day of the week. We don't swear. I do. I really do. And I'm holding my mouth as best I can. My chat is going to be amazed at how well I've done here. So, do you have any remorse?
No.
Wow. So you got convicted.
That tells us everything we needed to know. Right there in those few seconds, do you have any remorse? No. I think that one of the biggest and best qualities that somebody can exhibit is when they do have a life of errors and being a bad person, making bad decisions, hurting people. There are people that I have seen who have a life full of those things. But you know what else a lot of people have is remorse. And they are full of remorse for the things that they did that negatively impacted people. And sure, this might have happened in 2005, but, you know, he really wants to focus on, oh, well, you know, one of the victims was 17. Okay, 17 when you were finally caught. So what does that mean for the 3, 4, 5, 6 years leading up to that point where you could have been this person who was 17 when you finally got caught? That means that when she came into your possession, because you become a human handler when you are exploiting people, that means that she could have been 13, 14, 12. Who knows? The point is that these are children that he negatively impacted and left with trauma for the rest of their lives. And he is sitting here today saying he has no remorse. No remorse.
You pled guilty to something, and it was an underage person. We didn't have a birth certificate. It wasn't up for. You should have appealed that in your 5 years. Appeal that, because actually this is a liar. She wasn't underage, but clearly they were.
No,
So you have no remorse at all because of the what? I mean, I'm not getting that.
no, I did appeal, and I fought in Nevada state that
because what the birth certificate was incorrect because there is an age of consent and then there isn't. So what was your appeal going to be, that this person lied? They're actually 37 or 21 or 20. That's my appeal.
no, listen, I'm not going.
So the person was underage.
Yes.
And you don't feel a bit bad about that?
No, I don't feel bad about nothing that happened 20 years ago, for one. For two,
he was making money off the backs of children. That's what this comes down to.
This person, in the process of me going through court, person showed up with another pimp to testify. So, I mean, she had a pimp before me. She had a pimp after me. So
what he's saying here is she was passed off to a new handler. So she's fine. Since she was passed off to a new handler, why do I need to care? Not my problem. Not my problem anymore, because she has somebody new that can exploit her, mistreat her, abuse her, and make money off of her not being able to consent to even partaking in these activities, and then giving me the money. What a disgusting, just a disgusting circle of people abusing children. And then you have someone like Kaya who is apologizing. She doesn't care. She's okay with this. Kaya Simons showed us who she is, just like so many other people, and I'm choosing to believe it. I don't need to wait till Sunday. I see who she is. And I see who her monster of a man is as well, that she's standing so firmly next to.
So how I'm supposed to feel bad about that?
Well, I would, because if you've got a young lady being passed around from pimp to pimp to pimp, I think that the background of that person has been really awful, and I'd have sympathy for that person. I'd have remorse in the part that I played in the exploitation of that person. Yeah, I probably would have remorse about that. No, not probably. I absolutely would. But you're not sorry. You're not sorry that hasn't happened to that person.
Would you have sympathy for someone who robbed you and just hear me out? Would you have sympathy for someone who robbed you to feed their children?
No.
Okay, so how do I supposed to have sympathy for someone of that caliber?
If someone robbed me to feed their children, I'd have no sympathy with them, because they would know me well enough that they could have come to me, so I wouldn't.
I'm so tired of this conversation. Like, if we're talking about, we're literally talking about a child. We are literally talking about a child. We are not talking about an adult that's robbing another adult. We're talking about an adult who exploited a child.
It wouldn't be a situation that would ever happen here around my house. If I've always, my bank account is not full, because if someone needs £5, I'll give them 10. Like, that's kind of how I roll. But you've got a conviction. You spent 5 years in a fucking horrible prison for being a nonce, man. Like, being a nonce. I mean, that's a whole fucking thing. That's a whole fucking thing.
So they really want to lean heavy into this fact that, like, oh, well, he was only a trafficker. He wasn't actually engaging with these kids. To me, if you are causing trauma to a person who cannot consent, you know, yeah, like, it's the lesser of two evils. Maybe some people might look at it that way. But if you are intentionally traumatizing a child or a child, then I think that you're missing your soul. And if you are an apologist for those people, then I think you need to get your head checked.
What's
A
another?
child. A child.
No, I never read.
Yeah, hold up. There was
I
one.
never had I never had contact with.
Oh, so you were just a trafficker then? You were just a pimp of minors. Okay, that makes it so much better.
No. You see, that's the thing. Everybody, you don't know the whole story, so and it leaves a lot of room for you to run with it. But I'm gonna let y'all run with it until Sunday. But I did want to come on here, and because she got respect for you, I don't really care for her.
She realizes that it is game over for her. She has to realize that it's game over. You know, Kaya, it was nice while it lasted, and unfortunately, I think that you would not be sitting in this boat had you been transparent from the beginning. Is there an easy way to open up this conversation? No, but guess what? Everyone who was saying she ripped on people and built a whole channel off of it and had the skeleton in her closet, that last part of having a skeleton in your closet would not even be on the table if she were to have been transparent from the get-go.
None of you, really, to be honest. But
Yeah,
I don't.
no, I appreciate
But-
you don't have any care for human life. So yeah, no, that
No,
sort of
listen,
fits with
I-
the process.
How do I care for my dogs, my animals? How do I supposed to care for people that don't know me? How do I supposed to care for people that act like they know her and love her, but when things get rough and tough, you've been married before. Do you just run out on your husband? Shit just got crazy.
If anyone I was around was on the list, yeah, absolutely, that'd be the end of it for me. But anyway, that's me. I
If
guess
what?
I'm unusual.
If what?
If anyone was on the fucking list, the register, I'd be out, mate. I'd be out.
Yeah. I'm not saying that part. I'm saying how do you go who loves you and show you true love for people that's on the internet that wait for your.
Oh no.
Listen,
We care for Kaya. We don't give a shit for you. So there you go. Kaya, this is out of order. Nothing is going to change here in my mind on Sunday because I've just asked him if he has any remorse and he hasn't. So there we go. That's it for me.
This is the lifestyle these women chose to live.
hold on. Just let me-
Children.
That they were 17, 18. They was living this life before.
And he was 30. These were children that came from fucking horrible backgrounds. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been there. Fuck off.
So Kaya is doing the same thing, calling children women. They were children. These are children. These are children who cannot properly consent. And the guy that she has spent the last 12 years with and painted as a knight in shining armor is the guy who was handling them and explaining them and making a paycheck off of their SAs. Because a child can't consent. So remember, we go in that entire circle again. The victim blaming, the discounting, the just
See, that's what I'm saying. The internet, they make their own assumptions. This
Children.
she's
Children.
still a child today.
No, I'm a grown-ass adult, and I am.
No, I'm talking about her.
Be
Is she still a child today?
Who?
The lady
Your
that
multiple victims?
yeah, are they child today? First
No,
of all,
no.
it doesn't matter if she's a child today. She could be an adult with severe trauma that you caused her as a child. This is an adult that could be severely broken because of the things that she went through at this man's direction, instructions, at his hand. And we only know the things that he was caught for. I want everybody to remember that. Because there are so many things that, yes, this is on paper and there was a conviction and this is exactly what happened. But how many things weren't reported and weren't prosecuted?
Because this was back in 2005, so they're grown.
Okay, so
God only knows what mental torture and fucking fucked up lives they've come from. And are still enduring. God only knows. I fucking hope to God they've recovered. But you earn money. It's all about the fucking dollar is all I need.
she recovered. She came to court with another pimp. So yeah, she recovered quite well.
So she was passed around from pimp to pimp to pimp to pimp.
She
No,
chose-
I reckon she's great. She chose that life as an underage person. Okay, fucking good eye.
No one passes no one around. It's an option. That's just like when you go out.
Wow.
where you
Well,
have
I guess she. I think
This is not like Kaya wanted, I guess, initially people to think that it was one victim, as if there should be zero. You should have zero victims in your life. Just multiple victims. And I am I am so tired of this conversation of, oh, well, X number of years has passed. Oh, it's been 20 years. It's been 18 years. That was 7 years ago. There are literally things that happen to children who are 8, 9 years old, and they deal with it into their 40s and 50s, 60s, until they die. Because the things that happen to some kids are beyond my wildest nightmares. So let's stop saying it's been X number of years, because the amount of time that has passed means absolutely nothing to me. Let's talk about the amount of pain that you caused and the lack of remorse that you said yourself you do not have.
First of all, everyone don't have the option to go to Harvard.
No, I understand that. I understand
No,
that. So what was those?
you
Excuse me.
might think that all these ladies are just some freaking some girls walking around with a sunflower. No, that's not the reality.
So outside of having been prostituted around by you as a young girl, as a young lady, what do you reckon our other options in life were? What do you reckon?
Say that again.
Well, children cannot consent, so children cannot be given options and be held accountable for the choice that they make, because they do not know how to consent. They cannot consent. Children are children, and they cannot consent, point blank, period. I don't care if they're 17 years old. They cannot consent to being passed around by a human handler.
It's cool. What was her fucking option? What do you reckon that was?
I don't know. You have to ask her. She wanted to be a hoe, so she hoed. I don't know what else you want to say.
You were an adult. You're an adult. She was an underage person, and you earned money off of this person. And I can't get over that. I don't care what you're going to fucking script. I don't care what you're going to do. I feel sorry for Kaya. I've got care for Kaya. But this is too much. This is too much for everyone here. And Kaya, you kept this a secret. There is no good day to tell someone you're with someone on the sex offenders register. That's a truth.
Kaya brought this to her channel because it was leaked. It was not something that she was going to, in my opinion, allegedly, it was not something that she was ever going to tell anyone. She didn't want it to get leaked. She didn't want anybody to know about this. She wanted to continue to put out this persona on YouTube, make her YouTube money, have her community there, have this guy, with her, and it was like a double life. She did not ever want this to come out, and it did. And now we are seeing the true side of yet another YouTuber, and just how people hold these skeletons in their closet. And my, if you are going to jump up on your channel and hold people accountable, you better not have any skeletons in your closet. And if and when they are exposed, you better not handle it this way. Oh, there were no victims. Please.
God, my lady, what the fuck? Why were you even on the internet in the first place? This was only going to blow up.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, about Kaya now. What would you suggest she do? In your opinionated ass.
Get off the internet. Shut your channel down. There's no coming back from this. There is no, in my opinion, there is no way that she could come back and have conversations about what other people need to be doing on their channels.
Mine, what do you suggest she do?
Wow, in my opinionated ass.
Mine.
Ass mind. Ass. In my opinionated ass mind, I have no idea, because you have opinion about everything else about me. What would you think just say omit that I'm even here right now? What would you say she do? Leave me? Yeah.
Okay, and what that's gonna do for her well-being?
If we get her away for someone on the list, the whole fucking community would fucking rally around to get your ass out of their house. And we'd make sure she was okay.
Okay, how many of you guys gonna come here, protect her or help her when she's in need? How many of you guys on the internet is gonna leave your humble abode and come and watch over her?
I'd be good. I'd be good on that.
I bet you would be. It's easy to say that shit on the phone or online. But
really, don't you fucking think you know anything about me. One of my friends was in danger on the other fucking side of the world. I'm in the UK. I went to fucking New Zealand because one of my best friends was in danger. I dropped my work. I dropped everything, and it was a fucking crisis over there. So don't fucking play me with that. I'm very well fucking versed in the world, the best and the worst, and everything in between.
You said your best friend?
No, Kaya is not my best friend,
Okay,
but
so
equally,
I would go.
well, let's talk about when I was working over in Thailand. I was working there. I had a fucking contract, and I was running the gauntlet between Cambodia, Laos, and fucking Thailand. So don't you talk to me. What would I do for people I've never met? Fuck you.
Nobody chooses to live a life of being exploited. Nobody chooses, like, that's, nobody chooses to be abused. Nobody chooses to be, like, what the hell is wrong with Kaya? Kaya, are you, like, not even, like, is your brain not functioning in the way that it needs to be functioning? Like, what's going on here? The amount of denying, just bullshit artist and victim blaming disgust that has been laced throughout this video is it's at an all-time high. I don't think that Kaya will be able to come back from this, like I said, and I definitely don't think that she'll be able to come back from this in the terms of being able to deliver commentary on other people and talk about what other people's morals should be, because my God, Kaya, you had a really good thing going and you just blew it all to shit because you decided to hold that skeleton in your closet until it was exposed for you, and now we are seeing just one of the absolute worst downfalls as far as in a smaller community that I think we're going to see in a long time. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you say that there are no victims? How dare your man try to say that children chose to be exploited for cash and sex? Disgusting. I am appalled. I will leave Sharon's channel down below because I did use, her video in mine. Go give her a follow, go give her a like, leave a comment, whatever you want to do. I am severely disappointed. I am beyond disgusted by all of this happening, and I might have more thoughts, but I think that's going to be enough for today. I am just below the ground when it comes to how disgusted I am over all of this. But that's going to be it for now. If you like the video, leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.